Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hello, Magic's Game Room, and hello, Odin's Beard Woodworking. Hope everyone can hear me okay. Let me know if you've got any audio feedback or if it's distorted in any sort of way, if I need to adjust anything. Wow, you actually got an on-time alert. What's up, Farland? Everything sounds good. Yeah, we can hear you. Well, awesome. Very good. Glad to hear that. So what's everybody up to? I myself am here, as it were. Hello, Janet. You should consider greens and blues for the colors. Sounds great. Love the selfie. Awesome. Thank you. Hello, Scaldic Works. Never get alerts anymore. Well, I mean, I don't do these things anymore. And as you can tell, this is the last one. This is the last live stream of the year. So make it last. Make it worth it. Trying to relax. Dental works. Ooh, dental work in the morning. Okay. You got phobias of the dentist, man. They got a job to do, and I know that doesn't really help the phobia aspect of things, but I hope it all goes well, and I hope that that you get what you need done. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody hanging in there? Have you guys been enjoying the Midgard Musings Random Heathen Ramblings podcast? Because that's been the majority of the content that I've been putting out here as of late, with a few little short reels here and there, as they say. Broken ankle. Well, that's never fun. I wouldn't know because I have not broken my ankle that I know of. I've twisted it and I've sprained my ankle, and I've had actually some really interesting times with my limbs, where I went to bed one night and then I woke up the next day basically lame, where I couldn't hobble along without crutches and such. And then that's all part of getting old, I guess, potentially. But the good thing about my livelihood is that it does not require me to be on my feet for very long, much if at all. But I still need to get around and I still need to do things. You know what I mean? I still need to be able to shuffle about. But yeah, it's Friday night. And if you think that this is the last live stream of 2022, based off of the title of the video, then you would be considered literate because you can read words. Words have a funny way of saying things that may not always be true. And so the truth of the matter is, this is not the final live stream of 2022. I was just joshing you. I was just kidding. I was just making a little bit of fun. Generally speaking, I don't like the whole April Fool's thing because I feel like it's a bit overplayed and over exaggerated and whatnot, because everybody's like, yeah, I'm not a pagan page anymore. I'm a Christian page, and I'm a this and I'm a that, whatever. But I mean, what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? I'm here. You're here. I got you. I got you here. What do they say? Hook, line, and sinker. Line, hook, and sinker. I mean, it is what it is. I'm here. You're here. We're all here. And I ain't going anywhere. I hate April Fool's Day, dude. Scald works. You know what I'm saying? But I figured, I was probably going to be live streaming tonight anyway, just because it's a Friday night. I didn't have anything else going on. But you guys know me too well. You know me too well, and you know that I'm in it to win it as much as I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? Figured from the title that it was an April Fool's thing. Yeah, well, I can't. More importantly, actually, what today is for me, with everybody here, and it's great to see everybody. By the way, let me just say, Magic's game room, Scalded Works, Farland, the Odin's Beard Woodworking, Janet King. Many of you folks have been with me on this channel since almost day one. I know a lot of you have. And for everybody that's new coming here to the channel that doesn't know what I do, for the most part here lately, I've been releasing podcasts called Random Heathen Ramblings. And that has been taking up the majority of my extracurricular video production time outside of my professional life. And, for everybody that knows what I've gone through from the beginning of this channel, I've been targeted by people that don't like what I do, to the point where I've been what's referred to as swatted. I've had my life threatened on live streams before. And if I was to go anywhere, if I was to not do anything, if I was to stop doing this, then it would not have been a made up calendar, foolhardily determined. It's not even a holiday, but just a day of the week or a day of the year, whatever, that would have determined for me to stop live streaming. I would have done that a long time ago. You guys have got my ugly mug to deal with for the indefinite future. You know what I'm saying? So, but more importantly, what today is for me is 80 months, 80 months that I have been in a committed and loving relationship with my wife. And here in a few weeks, we will be celebrating 5 years of wedded bliss, as they say. Her and I will have been married for 5 years here in a few weeks. And we've been together for several weeks long, or a year or so longer than that. We've been together since 2015, so you do the math. But yeah, we will have been married in a couple of weeks, April 21st. We will be married for 5 years. And today is the 80th month anniversary. Now, is that corny? Is that cheesy that I'm keeping track of the months? I don't think so, because that's what I want to do, and that's what we want to do, and that's what we do. So thank you very much, Magic's Game Room. Appreciates that. Says, love having you around. I love being around. I like this whole existence thing. It's pretty rad for the most part. There are some days where I'm like, what the heck is even this? I get those, days where I wake up and this whole thing in my brain, this thing in my skull, I should say, what they call a brain, this spongy mass of nerves and electrodes and everything like that, touching into the universe and whatnot. It's cumbersome sometimes that this thing in my skull does what it does, and it makes you think certain ways, and it makes you feel certain feels, right? And it's oftentimes a bit of a drag. And but for the most part, like I say, I like this whole existing thing. I like existing. Um, Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Odin's Beard Woodworking. Thank you, Skull That Works, Janet King. It's lovely, and not honors not only her, but you teach others um, wholehearted ways. I appreciate that, Janet, and I appreciate everybody. I wish I could do more. I wish there was more for me to do. But as time goes on, and as things progress, where we go and where the places that we arrive, the places that we reach along our journeys are yet to be determined. Like, we don't always know where we're going to end up. We just know that we're on this journey of this thing that we call life. You know what I'm saying? And so for the most part, I'm just, paying the bills, keeping a roof over the head, enjoying some scotch, and vaping and smoking and camping and streaming and putting out content every week for everybody. And I'm glad for the opportunity that I have to be able to do that. I'm glad that I'm afforded the opportunity to be able to just kind of share my life in a sort of way. So yeah, this light is glaring on me, and I think I need to just tune it down a bit. I need to tune it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta calm it down. I got some real, like, what do you call it? Druid vibes going on over here. Got a little bit of the blue light ambiance thing going on over here. We got what's it called? Sigerbloat coming up here in a couple of weeks. Actually, the week before my wedding anniversary is Sigerbloat. And for a lot of folks that maybe don't know what that is, it is one of the 3 historical heathen holy tides. And it is the victory bloat, is what Sigerbloat means. It's victory bloat. And it was a celebration for victory that kind of rung in the summer time, because in the north, you really just had your winter months and your non-winter months. So it was winter and summer. There was not so much a distinction between 4 seasons. It was either cold or it wasn't. So but here in the south of the United States, our 4 seasons tend to become a bit much like what the north is that when it's cold, and when it's not, it's not. And there really are no differentiations between the 4 seasons. So sure, there are, like, we get autumn, we get spring, but like today, like, it's been cold, it's been we got frost advisories down here, and then it's back up into the 70s and 80s and all that kind of stuff. So it's very, there is no real, like, gradual what's the word I'm looking for? There's no graduation into the seasons. It's just once it hits, it hits. So thank you, Christina. Says congratulations, and Odin's Beard says it's snowing now. It's snowing in Vermont, but that's Vermont for you, man. Like, that's the northeast, and I'm from New York, and I know that I've actually been in New York when it's we get 6 inches of snow on the ground in April. Like, I remember a few years ago visiting my blood family in New York, and it was I don't know, it was like the second week of April or so, and we got 6 inches of snow on the ground. Of course, it wasn't there for but a day or two. but it happens, and it can happen. So that doesn't happen here in Tennessee, but snowed in Ohio this morning. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, that does happen, and it's a thing that does happen. I'd like to give a special shout out to the newest Filigi member of the channel. So hail and welcome to Co Grizzle. I think that's or Chloe Grizzle. Is it Chloe Grizzle? Thank you for the membership, for joining the Midgard Musings membership tier. So cheers and thank you to you very much. We may go into what's this says, a dogwood winter. Well, the dogwoods are definitely blooming now. Scalded Works. CeeLo. Got you, man, woman, child, person of unknown gender specifications. CeeLo, thank you so much. You love my content, and I appreciate the support in that way. So thank you so much, CeeLo. Definitely appreciate that. And for anybody else that isn't aware, the different tiers of the YouTube channel members, it's like I do what I do, but when you become a member at certain levels of the channel, you get obviously priority, notice. CeeLo's a man. What's up, man? What's up, dude? Dude is gender neutral. I think everybody's a dude, man. Like I call my wife dude sometimes, and she looks at me, and I'm like, we're both from the same generation where everybody's a dude. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's dude. It's not a derogatory term by any means. It's a term of endearment, so much as I like to think. But yeah, Scalded Works has done a lot of. You've actually been a lot. I just wanted to give a special shout out also to Scalded Works. Here talking about this dogwood winter and anything, but Scalded Works as of late. Guys, check out his channel. I think because haven't you put out some stuff here as of late, playing some instrumental, the Tala harp or the Tiala harp. I can never pronounce it correctly, but you've been putting out some content. You've actually been the source of inspiration for some recent Random Heathen Rambling podcast episodes. So I definitely want to give a special thank you and a shout out to Scalded Works here on YouTube. So if you guys are in the live chat, give his channel a subscribe and check it out. Check it out. And then there's look who we got in the live chat over here. We got Patrick Walsh. Patrick Walsh, my dude. What's going on, man? Glad to see you live. Yeah, you missed the intro. I got everybody. I actually probably didn't get everybody or anybody to that extent. This is not the last live stream of 2022. As a matter of fact, it's not the last live stream of anything that I have in my limited foresight, unless something amazing happens where I just can't live stream anymore or whatever, then this is not the last live stream of 2022. Doing some lessons on YouTube on the Chala harp. Cool. Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Better than the Fimbulvinter. Dude, Fimbulvinter. The thing that kind of it's the thing that leads up to Ragnarok, right? In the lore. Yeah, you got to wonder, right? Like when those stories were written and when the lore was published and all that kind of stuff, like was it because of the inherent dangers and the inherent I don't know, yeah, just the inherent dangers of what the winter meant. You know what I mean? Like you may not survive the winter, and when you talk about a winter that lasts that long, like that's rough, man. That's bad news. It's bad news for sure. So it's better than that. At least we're not dealing with a Fimbulvinter. But I can remember living in New York and having, the winter months start before Thanksgiving, and then not fully end until after like Easter. That beginning of April, middle of April time frame. And that's kind of like, that was you didn't start planting certain things before, the middle of April because of the risk of the winter not letting go. And well, I'm in Tennessee now and have been for the last, 15 or 16 years. And it's a totally different ball game down here. It's a totally different story. Um, I think we've seen the most amount of snowfall this year than this region of the country has in a very long time. And it wasn't even that much. I mean, we're talking like less than a foot of snow total for our region, maybe more in the higher elevations out east and stuff. Um, yeah, long nights referred to in Game of Thrones. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, short ice age, exactly. I mean, like that's what I wonder too, is like, um, the his, the ice ages or ice ages. I think there was more than just one. And I think there's enough archaeological evidence that supports that claim, um, that there was more than one ice age, as it were. So, but we're not in one. We're not in one now. It's just it's getting to be a little bit of a longer winter than one might necessarily like if you don't like the cold. But I like the cold. As long as I've been living in the South, and like I said before, my wife's and my marriage is our wedding anniversary is coming up on 5 years. As much as I've enjoyed the environment, the people, the cultural differences between the North and the South. The one thing that I don't like is the weather. The humidity is awful. I run kind of like a hot blooded body temperature anyway. So like I went camping a couple of weeks ago. It was actually weekend before this past weekend, just this past weekend, so like a week or so ago. And it was in the 30s when we were camping, because it was myself and some of my tribes. I mean, we were preparing for Sigerbloat coming up. Like I mentioned before. The Sigerbloat celebration that we hold is held on my Gothi's property, or my Gothi's parents' property, really. So we always go out there and we make preparations. We cut wood, we do all that kind of manual labor stuff, and we camped out there that night, and it was the perfect sleeping temperatures. And when I say it was perfect, people are like, "Ooh, was it in like the 60s or whatever?" I'm like, "Heck no, no, man! Like it was in the 30s." You know what I'm saying? Like I bundled up in my what do you call it, sleeping bag, threw a blanket over me, and I just nestled down into like this little nook with some rocks and stuff around me, and I was hunkered down in that little hole in the ground, man, and I was like knocked out. And it was, like I said, in the 30s. Most people be like, that's too cold to be camping. I'm like, that is perfect for me. That is perfect. I love it. We're going to be having our Sigerbloat celebration here, like I say, in a couple of weeks, and I won't be camping, but I know my Gothi and his daughter will be. So it'll probably be even just pristine camping temperatures. Even here in a couple of weeks, we're probably talking 40s, 50s. I love it. When it gets to be too hot and people are like, oh, let's go camping, I'm like, yeah, but it's above 50. Because the thing about the South, man, is that even at night the temperatures don't get below. So like, I mean, I've been down here now for the last decade and a half, and summer months, forget about it. It's 80 degrees at night. I'm talking like 9-10 o'clock at night. It ain't gonna get any colder. It's humid, it's hot, it's muggy, it's balmy, it's oppressive. It's absolutely oppressive. Can't do that kind of cold. The bones would be shivering. Yeah, right, Kristen. Yeah, like everybody takes it a little bit different ways, but I'm just like, I can't stand the heat. I can't sleep in the heat. I can't, when I have to go out and mow the yard and do all that stuff in the summer months, I'm like miserable. This northerner, man, like I can't uh, I put up with it because I have to put up with it, but it's definitely not my preferred climate. Um, Upper 40s to the 70s, like Patrick says, yeah, like that's like the hottest. If it doesn't get above the 70s, I'm good. And then lows in the 40s, 30s, 40s, absolutely, yeah. Um, Hope I had a decent sleeping pad. I did actually. Scarlet Works. My wife made sure that I took with me. They're like these foam. They're about an inch and a half, 2 inches thick, foam bases or whatever that you put down on the ground beneath your sleeping bag, and so it creates like a little bit of a barrier between you and the earth. Um, which I've slept on the straight on the ground with nothing but like a couple of horse blankets between me and the ground, and that depending on where you're laying and the terrain that you're camping on. Like for instance, our camping area there's a lot of limestone, and the limestone pokes up and around the ground, and it can make it pretty challenging to find a comfortable spot to lay. But believe it or not, some of those rocks, some of those limestone shells that breach the surface of the earth, like it almost creates like a little ergonomic settlement. Like you can just kind of like I found myself a little hole between a rock, and I'm like, it was very ergonomic. Like my shoulders were a little bit lower, my upper body was supported, my mid area and my lower body was kind of like on this lower shelf area of the ground, and I'm like, I was good, man. Like I slept a solid like 4 to 5 hours before I like moved, and then I adjusted, I shifted, and found myself another nice little nook to settle in for, and I probably got about a good solid 5 to 6 hours. And if you're talking like sleeping straight through on the ground in 30 something degree temperatures, like 5 to 6 hours is solid, man. Like I woke up feeling good the next day. We had some fresh eggs and bacon and potatoes and onions and stuff cooked over the fire. Dude, it was great. Absolutely ideal. Now, Patrick, when you come out here to Tennessee in September, I promise you, we're not going to be doing none of that. You'll have a bed. You'll have, air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. You'll have the luxuries of modern convenience here, because Patrick is planning a visit. Last I heard, at least, we're gonna host him over here in my humble hall later on this year. So maybe, just maybe, we'll record some content and put something out here on the channel for all he is to see, and Patrick will be a part of it. I think that might be pretty cool. It's really up to him. He has the final say. But yeah, and none of that would have happened if it weren't for stuff like this. If it weren't for social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, your sister's ass, the Pony Express, whatever. All of those things, and a combination of those things. Yeah, love Patrick. Like Matt from Odin's Beard Woodworking in the chat says, yeah, Patrick's very excited. Yeah, it will be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be it's going to be a weekend of meeting some tribesmen. You're going to get to meet some of the people around here that I have regular interactions with, and you are going to share those interactions with a lot, at least for the weekend that you're here. Get as much in as you can. He says, "Oh, I'm coming. Guarantee it. He's coming." Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I think this is the year, for a lot of us. Not only, man, like the last couple of years have been really interesting with our involvement with people. Like for the first, year after the pandemic, like people were really reclusive and cautious about meeting people, and then it's gotten to be like, we need that, man, and that proves a point. That proves a point to me. People are like, I'm fine by myself. I can, I can fly solo, and sure, that there's a place for that, but the inherent desire, the inherent need to connect with people, you know, that's so important for us as a species. You know what I mean? Um, and as heathens, the essence, the idea of tribe, you know, you can't experience that without being with a person or persons in real time, right? This right here is like a dang old yo man, they're talking about tribe, and then look who speak of the devil and he shall appear, or she, or they, he, she, they, whatever the devil wants to identify as will appear, right? There's Dingo, my tribesman, my brother, my Gothi. Um, it's funny, like we you speak things into existence and then there you go. But yeah, the value of family, the value of tribe, kin, kith, the extension of family, that sort of thing, it resonates so strongly in heathen circles, and you don't experience that without doing the thing, and that without being with that person in actuality, and within, you know, the real touching of space and time. You know, like I can see you on a camera, that's one thing, but when I'm with you in person, when I get to shake your hand, when I get to embrace you, when I get to, you know, have that sort of interaction with you, that's a totally different thing. And that's where it's at, people. That's where it's at. Heathenry is at the heart, the actual and literal heart. And the heart is in the hearth, and the hearth is the home. And so those things can't be experienced. Those things can't be lived without that kind of an interaction. And I think this year is really going to be the time and the opportunity for us as heathens, and for a lot of our folk and a lot of our people to feel that and experience that, because, you know, what you have online and what you have through a screen and what you have through a social media platform only really barely scratches the surface of things. I've recently tapped a little bit into Discord. I don't run a Discord server, and I don't ever will. I won't ever. Never say never is what the sages of the world say, right? Never say never. But I don't see myself ever opening up to Discord. However, a lot of wonderful heathens in the community have a Discord server and Discord servers that they operate on, and it proves to be really beneficial. But that's just not me. I literally work in that kind of environment. I work day in and day out using things that replicate what Discord is. And it's cumbersome, and it's tiring, and it's a drag for me to want to engage with people on that level. I'd rather do stuff like this, where I just, you know, run my little live streams, and I post my posts, and I share my content, and I do my thing, and then meet people that are close enough within our proximity. But 2022 is going to be the year of that. Patrick's coming out to Middle Tennessee to meet, you know, myself and Dingo and some of our tribes people, our tribes folk, our Clarithi folk, the people of the Thundering Storm here in Middle Tennessee. He's going to meet us. And then later on in the year, there's going to be another exodus taken of Clarithi folk going east and north to tie weird with some other esteemed members of our pagan community. So there's going to be a lot of that going on this year. And I feel that is very important and very valuable to have that sort of thing taking place, right? Because that's where it's at, man. Heathenry is at the heart. Heathenry is in the hearth, you know? Yeah. So good to see you, Dingo. I see a lot of interaction in the chat. This is my Discord. Scald It Works. This is my Discord. I mean, I'm on YouTube, right? So this is the server, I guess. This is the home. This is the home base, as it were. And I'm here for it. The title of the live stream is Absolute Hoo Hockey, because this is not the final live stream of anything, as far as my involvement online is concerned. Uh, it's been a long time since I've led a bloat. Talking about ritual stuff now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Pop the popcorn. Pop the popcorn and light the fires, kick the tires, baby. Let's talk about some religious ritual stuff. Because there's that too, you know. Bloat is a community thing. Bloat is an actual thing that is held with the community, and it has certain parameters that you know, kind of keep within, at least. I see a lot of people, you know, use the term bloat to refer to as ritual. Bloat is bloat. Ritual is ritual. You know, I can hold ritual, and I can be a part of a ritual. I can maybe lead a ritual, but bloat is bloat, and bloat is something that is very specific to our path. That you know, some would argue it has to be a certain way, include certain things, incorporate certain materials, have a certain cadence, da 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 da, right? But bloat is bloat, and ritual is ritual. Bloat is a ritual, right? But not all rituals are bloat. So speaking of which, right, like Sigurd bloat, the victory sacrifice, victory is the main theme, is the main thing behind it all. So victory bloat, Sigurd bloat, coming up here in a few weeks or less. Yeah, 2 weeks now. Tomorrow marks the week two weeks until Sigurd bloat, right? Like there's things that we do for Sigurd bloat, there's things that we do for Yule bloat, there's things that we do for the winter night bloat, you know, which are the three major holy tides that are at least documented in sources, that we can say for sure that out of all of the things that different Germanic pagans would have observed, that there were at least three major holy tides. There was the summer victory bloat, the Sigurd bloat. There was winter nights, Veternater, and then there was Yule. So bloat is bloat, and it's going to be a good time. Going to be a definite good time, and you will do fine, like Dingo says. It will all flow naturally, and that is what I would admonish people, maybe watching, listening, part of this live chat right now, live stream right now. Don't force things. Don't force yourself into something to, you know, feel like, well, because I've been a heathen for this long, because I've been a pagan for this long, like I have to do certain things. I have to read the runes. I have to hold my own, you know, ritual. I have to hold my own bloat. I have to do this. I have to do that. Let it come naturally. So much of what my journey has taught me is you got to put the work in, you know, but with the work comes the fruits of your labor, and the fruits of your labor will manifest themselves in their proper time. Like Dingo says, they will come naturally, you know. So the tree is not going to spring forth from its roots. It's not going to manifest itself before its proper time. As long as you put in the time, as long as you put in the work, as long as you put in the efforts, then it will definitely do that for you. So give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. So I had to respond to a text or a phone call. The way it always goes, right? You plan something, you do something, you stream, you do whatever, and then people are like, hey, man, let me talk to you. Man, look, I'm doing something, man. Jonathan Rains, hell and hello. It's been a while. Yeah, it has. It's been a long time since you've been able to catch a show. Well, man, the shows go on. The shows never stop. We're here every week. Thursday mornings usually are when the podcast is aired. But these live streams have been few and far between. And as you can tell by the bogus title of this live stream, I was feeling a little bit funny tonight. I'm feeling a little bit funny tonight. You know, I'm feeling a bit on the edge. Talking about this final live stream, baloney. It's not the final live stream. I can assure you. You're excited to do a bloat for Sigurd bloat, and you love how your GM. What am I reading here? It says that you love how your GM is giving me the time off. Oh, your general manager. Got you. And now, look, man, I'm telling you, it happens without fault. I've got 2 people call me during this live stream. Nothing's going on. Nothing to be alarmed about. But it never fails, man. I get one person calling me, and then I'm doing this, and this other person's calling me. I'm like, bro. Anyway, yeah. You're excited about doing Sigurd bloat. Glad that you got the time off. That's awesome. Fantastic. Thanks, Loki. Don't you we don't talk about that. Don't talk about that around here. I've already been oathed to the tribe, and that son of a bitch has been mentioned, and I say that lovingly. All right, I say that with all the affection, with all the positivity that I could possibly put on. But I don't talk about him that much. We don't talk about him that much around here. But it's all good. It's all good in the hood, as they say. Goalie's got to bounce. All right, man. We are going to have a good one for, I don't know, however long. It's I don't even know when I started this thing, so we'll probably not continue too much longer. It's still early considering the fact. So thank you, Dingo, for popping in and saying hi. And I will see you very soon. I will see him soon. I will literally see him soon, because in a couple of weeks we will be out there in Lewisburg doing our Sigurd bloat thing. So, yeah, man, I think that with whatever you do this time of year, this is a time of year where a lot of pagans are looking to do rituals and stuff, right? Because it's the awakening of life. Things are coming back to life. The dormancy of winter is waning, and we're seeing new life being brought to light. Everything's coming back to life. So a lot of pagans are tapping into that new energy, that revitalized energy. You have Ostara, you have the equinox, and then Sigurd bloat and all that. A lot of that type of stuff. So whatever it is that you do, however you practice it, however you want to externalize, however you want to do your thing, let it be that. Do it organically, do it naturally, and let it flow, and you'll see a lot of good results. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if I saw the comment. Love how most, if not all, awesome experiences, moments that we have aren't exactly planned. Yeah, it happens as it should. You can plan everything. The best laid plans, as they say, right? You can make the best laid plans, and I've seen this happen with our own tribal events. Where we make a plan to do something, and then something happens that throws a monkey wrench into those plans, and you don't fight it. What I've noticed is that when things happen that curtail the plan of what you're trying to do, you don't fight against the monkey wrench that gets thrown. You kind of like take that moment to sit back and go, there's a reason why this happened this way. And you take it as a learning opportunity. And at least in a lot of cases. And I can say that when that's done and when that's happened, it's worked well for us, to not force things, to not, try to make things happen that shouldn't happen in their proper time because we want it to be on this specific time, date, whatever. Right. Well, if it doesn't work, and if something happens that, I say, throws that like monkey wrench into the plans and disrupts it, then maybe there's a reason why. And so we're very in tune with the world around us, and we're in tune with the things that happen around us to make sure that we're tying our weird in the right ways. Because the last thing we want to do is create something that's going to, impact negatively impact the luck of myself and those that are tied to us, the tribe around us. Because I have that ultimate responsibility. I serve as chieftain to our tribe, and ultimately as chieftain, you are the caretaker of the tribe's luck. And so anything that happens that could be detrimental to the luck of the tribe is on you. It's on me. So I have that ultimate responsibility and obligation to my tribesmen, and to make sure that we're, kind of in tune with things enough to not allow things that we just want to have happen to happen unless it's the right time for it to happen. So with the way that the world is and the way that things can just tend to go, you got to be liquid, man. You got to be fluid. You got to be able to adapt to stuff, And so, like I say, even the best laid plans don't always formulate in the way that you want them to, because the universe has other things in mind for you, and you gotta roll with it, Good to see you, Jonathan Rains. Thank you again for popping in, and hope all is well with you out there. Life is always crazy. Yeah, it's called It Works. Exactly. Life is always crazy. But thank you, Patrick. Prime example of that for you. Long story, but love how it's all led me to this moment. One, absolutely. And then there's my wife is somehow tuning in. Murfreesboro music scene. That's my wife. We were talking about our upcoming wedding anniversary here in a couple of weeks. And so there she be. We have 5 years of our wedding coming up here in just a couple of weeks. Today was our 80th month anniversary, like I alluded to before. So yeah, everything's good. Everything's okay. She was one of the ones that was calling me before, and I'm like, I'm live streaming. Is everything okay? And then another brother of mine was calling me, and I'm like, dude, if you want to talk to me, jump on YouTube and get in a live stream. So thank you, Patrick. Appreciate that. So yeah, not the last live stream of 2022. If anything, I'm going to look to see about when these things might become a bit more of a frequent occurrence, because I appreciate what the community has offered for me. You guys always are like, well, I appreciate what you do, your ideas, your thoughts, your words, and this and that, talking about how much, you're appreciative. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. And I appreciate being able to, chat in this sort of way and see your thoughts and hear your ideas and read your words and think about things, because I am always a student. I am always learning things. So, when I hear about ideas and stuff, and then, a lot of times they come through in this form and fashion. Text me if you want food. I'm good. That's cute. I'm good. I do not want food, but thank you. Um, but ultimately, I am appreciative of the opportunity that I have to, you know, get off here or get up on here and just ramble on a bit, and talk and hear people's ideas. Otherwise I'd just be doing like I do on my podcast, and it's, talking to an audience that I don't necessarily see. And this is a very unique way of doing things these days. And it's nothing new. Like, there's a lot of other content creators that are doing stuff like this. But I'm just one of them. And it's great to have people that support you, that are at your back, and that want to see stuff like this and want to be, a part of this crazy community out here, this online community. Hello, Casper. Hail and welcome to you. Patrick, you're very kind, and I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate that. I just, had an idea to put what I'm doing a little bit out here on the internet, and having people that want to listen or watch and engage in that sort of way is awesome. So hail to you all. Hail to every one of you that are supporting what I do here by either becoming a channel member or a patron on Patreon or merchandise or just subscribing. Matter of fact, if you subscribing to the channel, watching these videos, sharing them, commenting, stuff that you're doing right now is all the support that I could ask for. Because it helps keep this engine rolling. It's the fuel to the fire, baby. You know what I mean? It's the gasoline to the engine. It's the catalyst that keeps this wagon train rolling. So I genuinely appreciate it. Would like to do these more. I know I've said it before, and there's a lot of absence between when I say it to when I actually do it. But there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that I will never talk about, that I will never divulge information on, and that's because it's my personal hearth stuff. It's my personal life, so I'm not gonna always divulge reasons why I can't do the thing, but it is something that I look to try to do on a regular basis. So yeah, I think that will pretty much sum it up. One of the things that I thought about maybe trying to do, and I'd like to gauge the audience's response to this, is maybe on like a weekly basis is or bi-weekly basis even, is to do some of these live streams and read some sagas or read some stuff. Actually, I had a book that I actually love. It's the Beowulf saga. And it's not showing it up because there we go. That's about as good as it'll get. But the Beowulf saga, I thought that it would be cool to kind of do a live stream where I'm reading the Beowulf saga, and we maybe talk a little bit about it here or there, whatever. Yes, Skull, Prost to you too, Casper. I'll drink to that. So between like that and maybe some other literary, things, we could make it a recurring thing. So if you guys are interested in that, then I don't know, let me know. Either shoot me a DM on Twitter or I don't see Instagram messages, even though my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are linked. I don't get Instagram messages because I don't watch that stuff. I don't keep up with the Instagram platform. But if you want to, DM me on Twitter or DM me on Facebook on the Midgard Musings page, or you can always write in. You can email me, midgardmusingstn@gmail.com. That's always a way to do it as well. Patrick says he absolutely needs that. Even if you miss it, you can always definitely use and apply it. Yeah, I mean, like these things don't get deleted after they're up. You know, these live streams are up and out here for the masses. Um, so for everybody that's here, that's still watching, that's continuing to engage, please make sure a couple of things before we end, because I'm about to wrap this up for the night. But please like this video. I know that may seem very minuscule and very minor, but if you're here and you're watching and you want to help support what I do, liking the video is going to be tremendous. Sharing the video as well, letting people know that I am out here and that I'm doing these things. I do upload weekly videos on Thursday mornings. They are the Random Heathen Ramblings podcast. It's usually just an amalgamation of different things, usually my own thoughts and ideas on things, combined with maybe some guests and some other viewer requests or people that write in and stuff like that. I do make rune sets that help support this channel. So if you are not familiar with my work, please follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and all of the recent work that I, all the work that I do, all of the rune work that I do, making rune sets and stuff like that. I recently made a couple of different seashell rune sets that are up for sale. So you can see on my Twitter and on my Facebook, and also here on YouTube in the community post, you can see what they look like. And if you're interested, please write into me, midgardmusingstn@gmail.com, for pricing and shipping and payment information and all that. The Linktree link that's posted in the description of all of my videos contains everything else that you may be looking for. If you're looking to support the channel in any other sort of way, I do have merchandise through the Spring. Well, they used to be Teespring, but it's now Spring. So the Midgard Musings Spring store is linked in there as well. You can get T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, all kinds of apparel with the different Midgard Musings branding and some other really cool stuff there. It definitely helps support what I do here on this channel. And so again, just everything that you do by watching, liking the video, subscribing, sharing, that all really helps a lot, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you that are here in the live stream tonight. So Patrick Walsh, Casper, of course, my wife, Scaldic Works, Jonathan Rains, Odin's Beard Woodworking. I saw somebody come in here, Dr. Zero, Free Magic Secrets Show, said hello earlier. I missed you, so sorry about that, but hail and hello. And who else we had? We had Kristen and Odin's Beard Woodworking. I said that, and Magic Game Room. Everybody, hail and thank you all so very much for tuning into tonight's just sort of a random live stream. And I know it was a little bit clickbaity. You can hate me for it afterwards if that's the case, but you're all here, and I appreciate that. So you guys are awesome. You guys, you gals, you non-binaries, everybody, you're all awesome. And don't forget it. You're awesome. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Farland as well, my man. Thank you so much for being a channel member. You all are awesome. CeeLo just became a channel member recently. Big shout out to them. So thank you, everybody. And please stay tuned. Follow me on all the social media platforms to keep up with everything that I do here. And hopefully soon we will see more content on the live streams. I would love to do these book readings with everybody, and maybe just make that an hour-long live stream or whatever on the weekends. So we shall see. But your voice is important. So if you want to see more of it, definitely let me know with whatever options that I just shared before and earlier. So thank you all so much for tuning into tonight's live stream. I appreciate you all. And until we all talk again, may your ancestors continue to smile on you, and may the gods continue to walk with you.